Welcome to IFAStories, where ancient wisdom meets modern storytelling. Step into the sacred tradition of Ifa, rooted in Yoruba land and shaped through centuries of interaction with neighboring West African cultures, and preserved in the Lukumi tradition of the diaspora. Here we engage the Ifa divination corpus, the sacred Odu through which Òrúnmìlà reveals insight into destiny and moral order, reflected in the lives of Orisha, Irunmole, Awos, communities, and all who seek guidance. These are not distant myths, but living teachings, bridges between past and present, illuminating responsibility, consequence, and the human path. Honor the wisdom. Reflect on destiny. Journey with us into the heart of Ifa. Subscribe and let the stories speak. Learn more at IFAStories.com. Oyekun, morning, Àárọ, and evening, Ojú Alẹ. This account from Oyekun reveals a principle that governs both heaven and earth. A swift beginning is not the same as enduring completion. What rises first does not always remain, and what is secured without proper sacrifice cannot be sustained. Oyekun was an Ifa priest in heaven whose position carried recognized authority. His work was established and acknowledged both in heaven and in the world that would follow. When morning, known as Àárọ, and evening, known as Ojú Alẹ, were preparing to descend to the world, divination was performed for them to determine the conditions under which their presence in the world would unfold. During the divination, the following verse was recited. Ifa Oyekun sidi, idin mo ona. Koni abebe, iyeri ye la bibe. Shugbon komo, eshe jo bibe. The explanation given with the verse was as follows. The worm understands movement, yet it has no limbs. Its inner veins function in place of legs, but it does not possess the strength to raise them. After the divination was completed, instructions were given concerning sacrifice. Evening, Ojú Alẹ, was directed to make sacrifice with bean, snails, Odù Òyẹ, shea butter, adaba, pigeon, ifun, white chalk, osun, camwood, oyin, honey, and iyo, salt. He carried out the sacrifice as instructed. Morning, Àárọ, was directed to make sacrifice with oyin, honey, and bean, snails. He did not perform the sacrifice. He considered it insufficiently elaborate and chose not to comply. Instead, morning requested that the appropriate sacrifice be prescribed that would enable him to reach the world before evening. His concern was precedence, not the securing of enduring prosperity. He was then instructed to make sacrifice with ada, cutlass, asho, pupa, red cloth, kinrun, palm kernels, and agbo, ram. He performed this sacrifice, and the Awo prepared Ifa for him. When this was completed, morning departed immediately and reached the world before evening, who was still arranging the means to complete his own sacrifice. He did not wait. He arrived first. Immediately morning reached the world, the people and the favorable things of the world gathered around him and associated themselves with his presence. His prosperity began at once. When Ishu learned that morning had not performed the sacrifice for enduring prosperity and that he was prevailing prominently in the world, Ishu moved swiftly to heaven and caused the sun, Orun, to appear. The sun rose upon the horizon and its heat intensified. As the strength of the sun increased, the cool condition associated with morning began to withdraw. Before noon, the fortune that had accompanied morning weakened. Morning began to lose prominence. The afternoon advanced, and as the strength of the day increased and morning diminished, a truth became evident. What is omitted in sacrifice cannot be secured in endurance. At that time, evening reached the world. The fortune that had withdrawn from morning was joined to evening. As the sun began to descend, its intensity lessened and the atmosphere cooled. Under these conditions, evening prospered. His increase was gradual, his prosperity endured. Evening became established in stability and wealth. For this reason, the prosperity associated with morning does not endure. It begins at the early hour from about 6 in the morning and extends only until approximately 9. From that point, its strength declines, and by midday, it yields completely to the advancing day. In effect, its prosperity occupies only a small portion of the full 24-hour cycle. Evening, however, approaches later. From about 4 in the afternoon, he draws near, and from around 6, he begins to flourish. His increase is gradual, and his presence continues beyond the setting of the sun, Orun, into the following day. This pattern establishes a principle concerning human life. There are those who rise swiftly into wealth and prominence in their early years, yet such prosperity does not always remain with them. Some see their fortunes diminish before maturity. Others lose their advantages entirely. In certain cases, life itself may be shortened before its full season is reached. There are also those whose early years are marked by hardship and labor. Through patience and endurance, they enter into stability and abundance later in life, and their prosperity remains. The teaching is therefore not merely about a favorable beginning, but about sustained endurance. In certain traditions, children born in the evening of a day are regarded as senior to those born in the morning of the same day. People pray not only to live long enough to witness the prosperity of their children, but also that their lives may extend to their proper season, so that their children will lay them to rest in the evening of their years. Ifa priests preserve the following prayer. Àárọ mi ire o. Ojú Alẹ and tọrọ, bí alẹ́ mi bá dára, èmi yóò dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ Ifá. Meaning, if my morning is good, I pray for the prosperity of my evening to endure, so that I may give thanks to Òrúnmìlà. When this Odu appears at Igbodu, the individual must be instructed to make sacrifice for a prosperous evening, and not to be in haste in acquiring the good things of life. If the person is already wealthy and still young, sacrifice should be made so that prosperity will not be short-lived. Life should proceed at a measured and disciplined pace. For this reason, the teaching of Oyekun remains clear. A swift beginning does not guarantee endurance. Prosperity secured through proper sacrifice remains. That which is pursued in haste may fade.